Madden 21 is still a few months away, but it's not too early to start talking about what you can expect in the upcoming Madden game. In this video, I'm going to go over 10 things that you can absolutely expect to be happening in the next version of Madden. Now, before you say, well, how do you know these things? Are you just clickbaiting me? Are you just kind of just guessing? Go back and look at the video I did this time last year. I'll even link it below. I talked about 20 things that would be happening for Madden 20, and all of maybe about 3 of those things wound up coming true. And this is because EA is very predictable. You can look at what they do in their other games. If they put something in FIFA or another game, typically, it'll come to Madden the next year. You look at what they've done in past Maddens, you look at what they do with their updates, they have trends, they kind of tip their hat to where they're going with the game, and also the developers sometimes flat out just allude to these things throughout the year, either on stream or social media. So let's get into the list. Number 1 is expect abilities to come back and expect more abilities. Now, some of you like that, some of you probably hate that. Me personally, I thought abilities in Madden 20 were a good idea, but most of them weren't balanced enough and wound up being a little too overpowered. But going into year 2, usually EA is better about balancing out the feature a little bit better or making it just better overall. Just look at real player motion, for example. In Madden 19, it wasn't very good. In Madden 20, it was really good. So you're going to see abilities come back because it was such a huge deal for the game. It was a big focus of the game, and they've on record of saying they're not going away and they're only going to expand them. So this is a definite. They've already said this. You're going to see more abilities than ever. You're going to see, different types of abilities. They're going to try to get creative and throw some different things in there. Maybe they remove certain abilities as well that maybe didn't hit as good. And also, hopefully expect them to be more balanced, because in year 2, they should be able to kind of work out some of those kinks and maybe make them a little bit more balanced than last year, which would be better for the overall gameplay. The rest of the list is coming up next, but first let's hear a quick word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Cove. One thing I can't go without as a music lover is a portable Bluetooth speaker, and I need one with good bass because that's just how I get down. Cove's Commuter 2.0 is where it's at. Just look at the subwoofer on the back of this thing. The speaker can connect to smartphones, tablets, and computers via Bluetooth 4.2. It has a battery life of up to 7 hours, and it works from up to 32 feet away from your device. If I go to the beach or outside the grill, I'm taking this bad boy with me. It's also water resistant, meaning it can get wet on the beach or on the pool deck, but don't actually take it into the water with you. Right now, you can get it for 65% off. That is insane. A $200 speaker for just $70. Make sure to click my link in the description to take advantage of this great offer right now. Alright everybody, so number 2 on the list is Superstar KO. Now, you can expect this mode to absolutely be back, and you can expect it to evolve and to have, new aspects of it brought to the forefront. Now, kind of like abilities, you're either probably on the side of this that you love it or that you hate it, right? You either love it because you play it, or you hate it probably because you feel that there was no need for the mode in the first place. But regardless of how you feel about the mode, the fact is Superstar KO right now, I believe, is the most popular mode, as of this moment in Madden, in terms of people actually playing the mode and engaging with the mode. And if you don't believe me, just go YouTube Superstar KO and the people that post that content and look at the views that it gets. It's really crazy. It is just growing. It's that pick up and play casual mode, which has just become more widespread in video games these days. And when something like that does well for any company, especially EA, they're going to double down on it and put more into it. So you could expect maybe more stadiums, maybe more teams, different rule sets, and really just a way for them to expand this and grow it into something more. Because what we saw from Superstar KO in Madden 20 was a very basic, kind of almost bare bones version of, I think, where they're going to eventually go with it. But expect it to be back and expect it to have a lot of new bells and whistles for Madden 21. Number 3 on the list is NFL Street. Now, this one is probably one of the few things on the list that's a little bit of a reach, but I also made a separate video about this, which I'll also link below. But let me tell you why, because again, when you look at what EA does with their other games, especially FIFA, any big thing that FIFA gets almost always comes to Madden the next year. We've talked about it on this channel. FIFA got Ultimate Team, Madden got it the next year. FIFA got Real Player Motion, Madden got it the next year. Weekend League, they got it the year before Madden. And the list goes on. There's many, many things. The Long Shot Story Mode, there was a version of that in FIFA the year before Madden got it. That is just how it's always been. And this year, FIFA got FIFA Street in a sense added to the FIFA game. It's called Volta Football, which was a way that you could play, it's like 5-on-5 mode, and you can play you know, not in like the traditional stadiums. You play on the streets or like special indoor soccer venues. They had different rule sets, different types of animations and things you could do. It was a more arcadey style of football. And now with the announcement that NFL 2K is coming back with arcade style games, I think that makes even more sense now, since we found that out, that EA is going to incorporate some type of street style into Madden, because now that FIFA's back, that's still some type of competition for Madden. So if FIFA's going to be making those arcade street style games, well, you could expect that EA is going to want to incorporate that into their game, especially, you know, the fact that they're building out the career mode that they just put back in the game. They'll make it to where you can create your own character just like you can in FIFA and play in the streets, kind of like NBA 2K, how the My Career, you could take your player onto the park. So I would expect that in Madden this year, because it definitely seems like that's somewhere they're going, and the rumor has been that that's something that they want to do. So look for that in Madden 21. Number 4 on the list, face of the franchise. So a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with face of the franchise, because we saw Long Shot come in for a couple years, disappear. We saw face of the franchise come back, you know, or start last year, but it was kind of like, felt like Long Shot, but a little bit more expanded because it was your own character. There was more customization, a little bit more deeper of a story, but it felt still kind of like Long Shot. Well, face of the franchise is absolutely going to come back. This is something they really want to grow, and they're on record of saying it. So expect it to be expanded this year. One of the main things I think you can expect from face of the franchise this year is, number one, more position options, because that was kind of the big bummer last year, was that you could only be a QB. So expect this year, maybe they open it up finally and you get multiple positions, because again, they're kind of on record of saying they want to expand this out, maybe let you play more college football than they did, you know, this year. We only played a couple games. Maybe they let you play like more like half a season. It's going to be expanded. This is a mode they want to grow. It's not one of those in one year, take it out the next year type things. This is here for the long haul. Expect it to be expanded in Madden 21. Number 5 on the list, the scenario engine. This is another new feature that came this year. Expect the scenario engine to be another big focus next year. Expect this to be expanded. Much like you can expect abilities, superstar KO, and face of the franchise to be expanded, the scenario engine, which kind of went hand in hand with the face of the franchise mode, but also was big for regular franchise, you know, franchise and CFM modes. Expect this to be expanded, because what we saw this year was, at launch, it left a lot to be desired. It wasn't the greatest, but throughout the year it did get updates. They added things like 5th year option scenarios, and they just added other different scenarios. But even still, at the state that it's currently at right now, definitely still leaves a little bit more to be desired. It definitely has a lot of potential, but this is something they definitely want to expand, because they invested a lot into it this year, and this is kind of the way that they're approaching career mode and franchise mode now. Like, they want to kind of progressively make it more and more like a sports RPG. That's their exact words, and the scenario engine takes a big part in that, because it creates the different complex scenarios. Right now, we'd like them to be more complex than they are, so expect in Madden 21 for that to branch out, grow, and be a lot better than it was in Madden 20. Number 6 on the list is one that I think people will be happy about, and this is something I really think is going to happen, and this is a defending overhaul for the AI, or the artificial intelligence. Now, most people know that AI in Madden is one of those things that gets crapped on a lot. It's not very good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Well, in FIFA this year, that was one of their main kind of key points to gameplay, which is interesting, because EA typically doesn't market those types of things. You know, even, you know, former developers have been on record of saying that, you know, they don't like to market those kind of things because they don't sound as exciting as a new mode, or like, you know, abilities, you know, something that kind of like is, you know, jumps off the back of the box. But one of the key things they promoted with gameplay for FIFA 20 was the overhaul of the defensive AI, and Lord knows we could use that in Madden. So seeing that they did that in FIFA last year, again, something EA likes to do with all of their games. When they do something with one game, they like to bring it to the other games, especially if it all is born out of the same technology. Well, they want to use that technology on their other games, and it makes sense. That's a smart thing to do. If you can benefit with this in more than one area, why not do that? So this is something that will be welcome, because we know the defense in Madden isn't the greatest. So if they can overhaul the AI like they did in FIFA, I think we could you know, see a better experience gameplay wise. This one's maybe a little bit more of a reach, but like I said, they copy FIFA a lot, so it's something to keep your eyes out on. Number 7 on the list, something else I think people would like to see, a revamped broadcasting package. So again, looking at what they did with their other games, this was a big thing they marketed with NHL this year, was the different broadcasting packages. They kind of did an overhaul with the announcers and having the different, you know, Like, just think of in the NFL, right? Some games are on NBC, you know, Sunday Night Football. Some games are ESPN, Monday Night Football. Some games are on Fox, right? People have been wanting this forever, especially for franchise mode. This is where something like that would live, right? The presentation, the announcing is long overdue for some type of an overhaul as well. Maybe you get different announcers now. Maybe you get the Monday Night Crew and the Sunday Night Crew. These are things you could potentially see, because if they did it for NHL, keep in mind, they did this for NHL, which is, you know, one of the lower games on their totem pole in terms of sales, right? The NHL series doesn't sell nearly like FIFA or like Madden does. So if they did it for NHL, I would expect this to finally be coming to Madden, because not only did they already do it, and they already have these licensings, you know, in place for these, you know, specific brands, so why not bring it to Madden too? But it's something that's been asked about for a long time from the franchise community. So that's something I really think we could see in Madden 21. Number 8 on the list is kind of just a basic generic thing, but I would expect a new Madden Ultimate Team mode, because this happens almost every year, or at least every other year in Madden. Madden 16 got draft champions added to Ultimate Team. Madden 18 got MUT squads, aka team play. Madden 19 got solo battles. Now this year didn't get any specific mode. They kind of just branched out the house rules, which isn't really a mode, but it's kind of like a little mini thing inside of Ultimate Team. They kind of branched that out a little bit more this year, but they didn't give us a new mode. So I would expect in Madden 21, you're going to see some type of new Ultimate Team mode. What will it be? That I don't know, but at least every other year they've shown consistently that they've added some type of new mini mode inside of Ultimate Team, so I would expect that this year. Maybe they finally just give us practice mode for Ultimate Team so we can practice with our actual squads. That's something that's been requested for a while. I think that's actually something maybe you would see this year. Number 9 on the list is expect one big new franchise feature, right? I know franchise mode guys want definitely more than one feature, but this has kind of been the cadence they've been on, at least for the past couple years. Madden 19, the big feature they got was the custom draft classes. At the time, it was the most requested thing. Madden 20 got both the scenario engine and the Pro Bowl added. At the time, the Pro Bowl was the most requested thing. The scenario engine was something just brand new that they wanted to do. So for Madden 21, expect one new feature. Now, what's at the top of the list this year? There's two things, in my opinion, that would be at the top of the list that most people want. It's better scouting overhaul, or assistant coaches. So it would be one of those two things, I think. But obviously, you got things like minicamp that you could see back this year as well, and things like that. So expect one new big franchise feature, one of those big list features that people have been wanting for years. Which one will it exactly be? That I don't know. Maybe they give us 2, maybe they give us 3. Who knows? Maybe they get crazy. But expect at least one. And number 10 on the list, expect the nerf of the run game. Because this is something, again, EA has done consistently in their games. Whatever was the meta the year before, whatever was really huge, they really try to nerf it next year. Especially if they couldn't fix it via updates or patches, which they've tried to patch the run game a lot this year. It has really been unsuccessful. Expect the run game to not be nearly as good next year. You know, when certain plays are overpowered, they take the play out of the game, or they completely change the routes on the play to make it not as good. When certain nano blitzes were getting too crazy, they introduced the nano detection. They always do this. So the run game being so crazy this year, there's no way they want another year of running the ball every single play, stretch and dive, stretch and dive. So expect a run game nerf in Madden 21. Expect it to the pendulum to swing way further back into the passing side of things, because they don't want a repeat year of this year. So that's it. Those are the 10 things you can expect from Madden 21. Let me know what you want to see below. Check out some of these other videos here, and I'll see you guys next time.